form of idolatry. It's a form of Satanism. It's unbelievable what these people will sacrifice, for a little bit of fame. And then you have a bunch of young children consuming it. I know it, I get it, but even sometimes I get duped. I found out recently that I was duped. I have believed for a very long time the story of Kim Kardashian. So we're going to take this little culture conversation because you need to know what's going on, because it matters. As I said, it's what comes down the pipeline. So those of you that know Kim Kardashian probably know one thing about her, and that's that Kim Kardashian had a sex tape and then she became very, 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 very famous. But for those of us that were consumers of culture and watched every minute of their very early episodes beginning 20 years ago, we saw a different version. We saw, yes, of course, that there was a sex tape. Kim Kardashian had sex with her then boyfriend. His name was a rapper named Ray J. And that was in 2007. The tape surfaced, and we watched her cry and be torn apart about this sex tape coming out against her will. Mm-hmm. The narrative was very simple. She made the tape. She gave her consent to make the video, but she was young and she was on vacation with her boyfriend. And then her jerk of a boyfriend, Ray J, released that tape. And then her mother intervened. We were led to believe that he was legally allowed to give the footage to the porn industry, and she was this woman victim. And her mother intervened and basically said, hey, Kim, there's no way that you can stop this tape from coming out. So at the very least, make money off of it. And she orchestrated a deal. Now, that version of events sounds understandable. You see her as a victim. You see her mother as a bit opportunistic, but...
Now, what she is saying is she's setting y'all up for the oofy. What she's saying is Kim Kardashian mother, Kim Kardashian mother's Kris Kardashian made it seem like, oh, honey, the tape came out and there's nothing you could do about it. The plot thickens. Go ahead, Miss Candace Owens.
What would be worse? Not making any money off of it and allowing people to click your name? And what was the result? Kim Kardashian is today a billionaire. She turned this sex tape into a billion-dollar empire. I've defended Kim Kardashian in circles when people say, oh, she's just fame hungry. She's a disgusting person. She's basically a pornographic actress. I've come back and said, look, she was a young girl who was put into a vulnerable situation because she had a jerk of a boyfriend. Well, it turns out that none of that is true, and it's quite shocking to find out what the truth is. So I'm going to tell it to you so that you know it and you are up to date on culture. So Kim Kardashian is launching a new show with Hulu, The Kardashians, keeping up with them again on a different network. And in the very early episode, she once again revisits the topic of this tape, this infamous 2007 tape, with news that there might be more footage that hasn't been released yet. So once again, the ex-boyfriend from hell has come back and he's got more footage, and she's completely devastated about it. So she calls her husband, Kanye West, you guys know Kanye West, the rapper, to deal with this trauma. So you can take a look.
Let me just call Kanye really quick.
Number.
Yesterday, blogs.
Elaine Luria, so out of touch, you have to.
Now, if you can understand where Miss Owens is going, she's saying that she was wrong. I'm gonna leave the link to this at the bottom of the video, of course. But where Miss Owens is going with this is that she's defended Kim Kardashian back in the day, back in 2007, when the tapes first surfaced. Now what she is saying is, oh, I was wrong. But as I told you, the plot thickens. And the reason why the plot thickens is because, well, I'll let her tell you. She's so good at this.
It's horrible. You're supposed to be feeling horrible with her. How could a man do this? Well, those were Amber Heard tears. Those were Patrisse Cullors of Black Lives Matter tears. I guess the theme of this entire last 6 months seems to be toxic women, and Kim Kardashian and her mother sit among them. What triggered Ray J, who has been in the background, remember, perceived for over a decade as this horrible person who released this tape, was that she then makes an accusation that she doesn't know what extra footage she has, but it could be something sexual. So you're going to have to forgive me for the language she uses here, but this is what she said on her show.
This is supposed to be unreleased footage. I really don't know what, of years.
Of keeping up?
Let's say it's a brand new kid sleeping and he's stuck in.
Allowing people to falsely believe that she was a victim here. Did she ever directly say Ray J released it? No, but it was heavily implied in the press, and she never said that he didn't release it. It just, she was a victim. It somehow got released. Of course, the assumption any person would make in their mind was that it was Ray J. But this comment, the idea that he could sexually assault her while she was asleep, really made him angry. He decided to come out with the truth, and the truth is astonishing. The good news is that it's summer, and that means pool time, and that means grill time. Wagyu is raised here, American Wagyu. Pounds of free Wagyu. The truth, Ray J speaks out to the press, and he says that the truth is that she is the person that kept the leaked sex tapes in a Nike shoebox under her bed. Ray J speaks after 14 years in the shadows to reveal the second tape does exist, but she has the only copy, and he accuses the Kardashians of making billions from abusing my name. Now, in this article, when you read it, you find out that actually Kim Kardashian and Ray J and her mother plotted the release and the sale of this tape. It was a casual conversation back when she was about 23 years old with Ray J, dating him. They saw that Paris Hilton, that her fame went up after she had a sex tape, and Ray J said, he turned to Kim and said, hey, you should do that. We should do that. We'll make a sex tape and it will make you more famous. Now, in a regular American household, you have that conversation with your boyfriend. Your instincts in your head don't go, let me bring that to my mom. That could actually be a great business opportunity. But in the land of Los Angeles and Hollywood narcissists and people that are actually insane and void of any morality, this is a perfectly acceptable thing to bring to your mom. So Ray J and Kim brought it to her mom. Her mom called up her friends in the porn industry, and they orchestrated a deal between the three of them for her to release her tape. A mother orchestrating and plotting the release of the tape of her daughter's body, right? Having sex on camera to help her become more famous. I mean, how absolutely despicable and saddening is that? It's saddening. It's actually saddening. I'm miffed at my...
Now, that was Candace Owens. I have a clip here by Ray J, and I want you guys to listen to this clip. I'll also leave this link at the bottom of the video as well. Here we go.
My deliverables. So she trying to have Kanye go get the contract that I got back, and he like playing for her, right? He talking about he want the contracts back. What the fuck does that mean, dog? So he goes, can we hop on this? I'm in the hospital. Look what I say to this nigga. Hold on. Go a little faster, because these niggas is impatient sometimes. First off, hold on. There I go. I'm like, go down a little bit. I'm the nigga with the substance. No, go back up, nigga. You like look right here so they can see it. Like, look at my phone. What the fuck you talking about? I got 2 kids in a tech company. Why would I involve myself in this? I'm so past this. Isn't that what y'all want from me? That's where I'm at. These niggas got niggas hating me, thinking I'm fucking crazy. So this is what this nigga put after. Let's not say, you know what? It's so crazy because this nigga Kanye like can put up everybody text message that he talked to, right? And then a nigga like us will do it and everybody will be mad. But get this nigga the glory. Fuck that nigga's glory. Let's talk about it, dog. Y'all can hate me all you want. I'm doing this for my kids, nigga. I got nothing to lose for my kids. Check it out. So let's not use profanity. This nigga tell me let's not use profanity. Let's not on a phone call later. Wack said you had the tapes in the safe. He lying. Because Wack ain't never said that. Because me and Wack both know that Wack was just playing around because Kris Jenner is the one who made us shoot the second sex.
Kris Jenner is the one that made us shoot the second sex tape. What's up, y'all? I'm Prime Supreme. I'm back with another video. I got something to say. You are here. Let's get it. People, one of the things that I, as a moral individual, one of the things that I stand on right. And one of the things that I love to do, and especially on my other YouTube channels, is I love to expose twisted narrative and perspective of women. And the reason why I love to do that is because, I'm sorry, let me back that up. One of the things that I love to do, especially on my other YouTube channels, is I love to expose the twisted narrative of females. I love women, but females and women are very two different brands of estrogen. I assure you of that. I don't want to get too much into that, but listen up. And so when I listened to Candace Owens speak about this before. I kind of just was like, whatever. But the more and more and more I started hearing it, then I came across Ray J. And then when Ray J was breaking it down, I was like, let me think. I was like, whoa. And then it hit me, Kris Jenner, wait a minute. Kris Jenner is the mother. Candace Owens said the same thing. I think when I was listening to Candace Owens speak about it the first time, it didn't sink in. I was like, wait a minute. Holy smokes. People. What Kris Jenner did as a Caucasian woman is the same thing that black men are going through in the black community. We're not involved with our children because of money. I've been saying and telling individuals for years on my other YouTube channel that my child's mom said, I want no parts of a good life. We were in our 20s living rent-free. I owned 3 houses. She was living rent-free. She was able to say something that none of her friends was able to say. Any other class or any other ethnic group of women would have signed up for 26 years old, living in a beautiful house in the Pocono Mountains, rent-free. 2 acres, rent-free. Beautiful home. Individuals used to come to my house and say, man, this house could be on MTV Cribs. But when it came to a nigger appeal, if you will, that our good life was out the window, and the sacrifice was a great family and my now former daughter, her daughter. So when I hear about Kris Jenner sacrificing Kim Kardashian for the sake of money, and Candace Owens made this specific to Los Angeles and the narcissistic individuals that are there, I get that, and I will not question that. That is her entry level to the fact that there are mothers out there that will sacrifice their children. So I get it, but I also understand it from an average, everyday, normal individual's perspective, and that is a mother will sacrifice her child. The mother's love that is claimed, the mother's love that you see for animals. I've seen other animals, like for example, I'm going by real stuff. When I lived up north, I had almost 2 acres, just under 2 acres. I had 1.75 acres. And I would get up in the morning, and my former dog, Diamond Dog, rest in peace, I would open the door and let her out. And she would just go out, and sometimes she'd be outside for hours. Diamond was very timid. One day I let her out, and she came back in. She came back in. And she came back in and got behind me and looked at the door. And I was like, oh, something scared her. I goes outside, and it's about 15 deers out there. And out of the 15 deers, it was about 3 Bambis. Bambis are baby deer. And they were just, the mother was just looking at me like, what's up? Yeah, I ran your dog back in the house. And I just laughed. But the mother made sure there were no threats around the kid. That mother would only sacrifice that deer in her own demise. Or the odds are, it's like a pack of lions coming around them, and she'll bolt and unfortunately abandon the cub. That's not how humans are. The greed for money and the want and the lust for money have a lot of mothers, unfortunately, sacrificing their children. I'll leave the links below. I'll catch you guys on the next one.